What's good, y'all? In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I use a simple text-based graphic and turn it into a realistic hat mockup in just a few simple steps using Procreate for iPad and my mockups for Procreate. The goal here is to get your design basics right, but still leaving plenty of room for you to flip it and use it in any of your personal or creative projects. I really hope you guys can learn something from this, so be sure to follow along and let's jump right into it. Okay, so first things first, we want to go ahead and set up our canvas, and today's canvas that we're going to be working on is going to be 4,000 pixels by 4,000 pixels at 300 dpi. And now that we have our new canvas here, what I want to do is go ahead and start setting this up so we can begin designing. So I'm going to go up here to our actions menu, and then I'm going to go to canvas, and then I'm going to go to drawing guide, edit drawing guide, and that pulls up our 2D grid, but we actually want to be all the way at the end here on our symmetry. So let's click that one time, and what that'll do is it'll create a straight line straight down the center of our screen. That'll make our design process a lot easier going forward. So of course, for today's concept, since we're going to be working on a hat, we want to go ahead and locate a hat mockup. I'm going to be grabbing the Cap 1 front brush from Quattro's Procreate supply pack, just in the accessories section, and I'm going to click on the Cap 1 front brush. Then I'm just going to tap that down one time on our screen, making sure drawing assist is not on, because if drawing assist is on, we will get duplicates of it, and that's just not what we want. So let's make sure drawing assist is off, and let's tap that down one time. And then from here, we could do is expand this to our screen, and this blue and green dot here will kind of dictate the center of our mockup, which will make everything a lot easier, again, just with the symmetry guide we have set up. So now once that's lined up to the center, we can use our uniform transform tool and just kind of start expanding that out to the size that we want it to be. Okay, and I think that looks like a pretty good size to me. So now what we could do is rename this layer, and let's call this our outline. And I'm going to swipe left one time, and I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to lock down this top outline layer. So now here on my bottom one, let's go ahead and rename this, and we're going to call this our base layer. Okay, so now we have our base and we have our outline. So now here on our base, we could also call this our color layer, but this is just where we're going to be dropping in our colors that we want to make up the base of our main cap for today. For this, I'm thinking about going for a kind of like Braves colorway, so we're going to start with like a deep, dark kind of blue, probably somewhere in that area, and I'm going to take this color and drag it straight to our mockup, and it should fill in a certain section. And if it fills in kind of nasty with like some white edges, that means your color drop threshold was probably very low or wasn't high enough to fill in all of the different spaces. So a quick way to correct that is just to drag and drop that color again, and without picking up my pen, slowly start dragging to the right, and as we see in those certain areas, just filling in all those different spaces that we wanted to kind of fill up. And I think that looks pretty nice. And now for the brim, I'm going to go for like a nice red color somewhere in this area. Could be really nice. So let's go with that. That's a little bit too saturated actually, so let's desaturate that some. And I think that looks a little bit better. And I'm also going to make sure this little thing at the top is red as well. So now we have the base of our hat, but now let's go ahead and throw a quick logo on and see what that does for our hat design. We're going to go back to our actions menu, and we're going to go to add text. And then the text here, I'm going to set my text to white to start out, and I'm going to click on everything, and then I'm going to edit the style. And now that we're in our edit style section, what I want to do is just scroll all the way to the bottom. I'm going to be using a font called Violetta for today. I'll also be sure to link it in the description below if you guys want to use the same font. So obviously this just says text, which doesn't even look that bad. But now we're going to edit this text, make it say whatever we want that relates to our project, our brand, or just something to you personally. For this, I'm just going to be typing out a C, and just kind of letting that be the base for my design for today. So now that we have our C, just going to kind of expand this to size, put that right where it needs to go, and I think that location looks pretty nice to me. So now continuing with this concept, I'm just going to take a quick trip to Google, and I'm going to type in flames vector, and I found this image here, and I think these are the flames that I'm going to run with. I'm just going to tap on this and save that to my photos. And then now back in Procreate, we can go to our actions, and then we can insert a photo, and then we can pull that flame vector right into our canvas that we're working on here. So now we can expand this out a little bit. Obviously, since this is a image that we pulled from Google, it's a little bit low quality, and we can do a quick hack to kind of get this to be a little bit more crispy for our design for today. So we're just going to swipe left on it one time, and let's duplicate that. And then I'm going to go to the layer options here, which is just pressing on this N button, and I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom, and we're going to find a section called hard mix. And what the hard mix does is it really pixelates the edges and creates a crispier kind of line on our design. So it goes from this to looking like that, and it's going to be a lot better just for our design purposes today. So now that we have our two layers, let's go ahead and merge these two together. So now obviously we have our flames, but we also have this white background here that we don't want to be here. So we're just going to go to our selection tools, and we're here on automatic, and we're gonna tap one time in our background, and it should change our background to black, and that's exactly what we want to see, because the black just indicates that it is now selected. And once it's selected, we can go to our arrow tool here, and we could just drag that right off of our screen because we won't be needing any of that white background. So now here we have our flames, and obviously this red and like almost neon yellow colorway doesn't really match anything that we have going on currently. So we're going to make a quick adjustment to get this color to be what we want it to be. So we're just going to tap on our inserted image, and we're going to go to alpha lock here. And then from alpha lock, what we could do is locate the color that we actually want to be working with. So for this, I'm going to be choosing kind of like a star yellow somewhere in this area. And then I'm just going to find any kind of round brush. And then what alpha lock does is it allows for us to color right onto anything, and the pixels are locked down, so we can quickly change out the colors to match more so the theme that we're currently working with. And I think that yellow is a lot more fitting. Even if we wanted to go a little bit more orange, we could do that too. And I think that's what I'm going to do, is just punch it up a little bit more, so it's a little bit more orangish, goldish. So now we're going to take our inserted image, and we're going to make sure it's right on top of our base layer. And then once we have that, we can click on it one time and then select it to clipping mask. And obviously the clipping mask clips it to our actual mockup. It's no longer just, so now we can take this flame and drag it down to our brim area. Right about there looks cool. And once we have that location, I'm going to go to freeform really quick, and I'm just going to pull this up a little bit so we can really have these flames stand kind of tall on our mockup here. So that way they kind of overlap onto our hat area as well. And as we see, there's this little area here that we just want to go ahead and fill in. So I'm going to just turn off alpha lock. I'm just going to select a hard airbrush, and I'm just going to quickly fill in this little space here on our brim. This is already looking really nice so far. I want to take this flame one step further. I'm going to click on this one more time, and I'm going to go back to alpha lock now, and already we're on this gold yellowish kind of color. I'm going to take our color line here and move it slightly more to the orange section so we get a little bit of an orange tint. And then I'm going to go to a soft airbrush. So I'm just going to be using the soft brush from the airbrushing section, and right around the tips up here on our flame, I'm just going to kind of do this on one side really quick so we can see the difference. But we can lightly color in just the flame tips so we could see this is what that would look like when we're adding in a little bit of like a gradient. So even this flame could be a little bit darker if we really wanted to show. So this is the side where we just added in some of that flame gradient that I think looks pretty cool. And even we can go back through and erase and push and pull some of that and bring some of that yellow back in if we wanted to, versus just our flat yellow side. This is just a personal kind of thing. Even if we wanted the color to be red or anything like that, we could do that from here as well. I think that deep kind of orange looks really nice. So I'm just going to continue that over on the other side as well of our inserted image, this flame kind of graphic here. And just kind of being pretty light with it, not being too heavy-handed with it. I think something like that looks pretty nice, especially coming off of the red from our brim here. And I think that kind of makes up the general base for our mock-up. But now I want to add in a couple more details that are really going to make this mock-up come to life. So let's add in one more layer, and we're going to rename this our shadows layer. And then we're going to set this new shadows layer to clipping mask as well as drawing assist. And then again, we want to use a soft airbrush. Any kind of soft airbrush should be fine from the airbrushing section. I'm just using the soft brush here right at the top, and my color is selected to black. And the reason that we have our drawing assist on is because anything that we do to one side, it carries on to the other side as well, which makes adding shadows and details to mockups that are obviously symmetrical a lot easier. So that's why we set up our canvas like this earlier on in the video. Here on our shadows layer, let's jump right into adding in our shadows. So usually with hats, where I like to start is just right around the edges and kind of going around very lightly and just kind of following the natural curves of the mock-up. And that usually dictates where a lot of the shadows would naturally fall. So once we have our shadows, it should look something like that. So the shadows are just all the way and not hitting too much of these center parts, but just going around the edges of our actual mock-up, just to kind of form that 3D shape. But now let's add in one more layer, and let's go ahead and rename this our texture. And we're also going to make sure this is set to clipping mask as well as drawing assist. Now we want to select this blue color from our base, and I'm going to make it a little bit lighter though. So just pushing that slightly to more of the white side instead of more of the blue saturated side. And I'm going to go to Quatro's brushes, again from the Procreate pack, and I'm going to use the rough wash brush now. And I'm just going to lightly start coloring in onto our hat here, very lightly though, very subtly. And as we see, that's getting a nice bit of texture going here that I think always looks really nice and adds a good bit of detail. So just going all the way around and adding in some of that kind of texture there. And I'm gonna move our texture layer below our shadows as well, just so we still get a good punch of those shadows, but we can also see our texture. Now I wanna add in some red texture here on our brim as well. So I'm gonna click on this red color here and doing the same exact thing and just moving our red color slight to the right. So now it's turning into kind of like a pinkish color. But before we can add some texture to our brim, our flames here are on top of this red base that we're trying to get to. So let's just move our flames above our texture layer. And now let's go back to our texture. So now we can add in the texture to the actual brim of our hat without affecting our flames that we created, okay? So now I could just lightly go in and start adding in some of that texture as well. And again, this is just a personal detail that I really like to add to a majority of my designs. And this is just something that I like to add to my designs. I think it adds in a good bit of detail. Very subtle, but I think it definitely adds a lot for sure. And I think the overall design is looking great so far, but let's add in a little bit of treatment to the C design just to really wrap up this whole concept. So first, let's go ahead and tap on our C, and we're going to rasterize it. And rasterizing it just means that it's no longer editable as a text, so we can't change this to a P or an S or anything like that. It's kind of locked in as its own shape now. Now we're going to duplicate it, and on this duplicated one, let's go ahead and tap it one time, and we're going to invert it. And once it's inverted, we want to drop this inverted C below our white C. And then from here, what we could do is go to our arrow tool at the top, and we're going to start dragging this down slightly. And as we see, what that does is it creates a nice little drop shadow effect that really makes it look like our C is popping off of our screen some. And if we wanted to take this a step further, here on our black C that we just duplicated, we can go up here to our adjustments, and then we can locate the Gaussian blur. And at the top is going to give us a percentage. So what we can do is start swiping to the right. And as we see, it's blurring our drop shadow. So if we wanted to max it out, that kind of does nothing. Leaving at a very low number, somewhere like 3 or 4, adds a nice bit of depth to the design to really make it look like it's a logo kind of sitting off of our hat. So now we have that, and I'm going to turn the opacity down on that black layer some. Let's turn that down to about 50 now. We have our C, and we also have our drop shadow. So if we hit it, this is what the drop shadow looks like without, our main white C. And let's throw that back in now. And I'm going to add in one more layer, and this is going to go above our C, and I'm going to just call this our C shadows. And on our C shadows, I want to make sure this is clipped to our white C, and then I'm going to locate a very light kind of gray color, again going back to our airbrushing brushes, just using the soft brush again. And here's where we're going to start adding in some shadows to our actual C design. So if you're familiar with baseball caps, which I'm sure a majority of you are, there's always kind of like a 3D aspect to the actual logo that's on the hat. So now we're just going to add in some shadows to really kind of get that effect and kind of imitate that. And to do that, what we want to do is just kind of go around and starting on some of the edges, just slightly coloring in some of that gray. And what that'll do is that'll form some depth on our actual white design. That'll kind of make it look a little bit more 3D. That's exactly what we want to begin seeing. So if some places don't look as realistic as you want them to, you could just go through and erase those and, try a different spot. But for this, I like to usually go around all the way on the edges of the bottom here. So the bottom being kind of like all of these lines that touch the outer of our design, and just kind of going around and adding in some shadows all around there. And I'm going to add some shadows in this area as well. And like I said, this is just kind of like an eyeball thing. Also, what I would suggest for this, if you're not too familiar, is just pulling up some references and seeing what other hats kind of look like and how the shading and shadowing kind of hits on those in a real life aspect. I want to do one last quick thing, and as we see, there's this stitch straight down the middle of our logo, and on a realistic hat, of course, our logo would go over top of that. So I'm just going to swipe right on all of our C designs here. So we have our C shadows, we have our white design, we have our main white C, and we also have our drop shadow there. So I'm just going to swipe right on everything, and I'm going to group that up. And now we can just rename this our C really quick. And I'm going to take this C group and move that on top of our outline. And as we see here, that now looks like it's sitting on top of our actual hat, like it's stitched on, a lot more realistic. And I think that looks really nice. But yeah, after we do that, I think that about wraps up our design for today. And yeah, if you learned something, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. The supply pack and other products of mine are available now on my website at quattrosupply.com. So if you're interested, I definitely recommend you check those out. And there's also a lot we didn't get to go over today, which is fine. Just be sure to leave a comment below what you want to see more of, and I got y'all with that. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.